October 8th, 1871. A city of 300,000 people. Gone in less than 48 hours. This is the story of how one fire changed the entire world. Welcome to Chicago, before the flames and after. By 1871, Chicago had become one of the fastest-growing cities in the world. In just 40 years, it had gone from a small fur trading post on the edge of a swamp to a roaring industrial giant. The city had over 60,000 buildings, homes, hotels, churches, warehouses, saloons, banks, almost all of them built from wood. Wooden planks paved with streets, wood sidewalks, the bridges crossing the Chicago River, wood. Even the water pipes beneath the streets were made from hollowed-out logs. Beautiful, bustling, and dangerously, fatally flammable. That summer of 1871 had seen almost no rain. The city was a tinderbox waiting for a spark. Chicago had survived 30 smaller fires that very summer. The firefighters were exhausted. Equipment was worn down. And on the night of October 8th, the spark finally came. Sunday night, October 8th, 9 p.m. On the southwest side of Chicago, at 137 DeKoven Street, a small barn owned by Catherine O'Leary caught fire. The legend says the family cow kicked over a lantern while being milked. Historians have never proven this. Some say it was a group of men gambling nearby. Others blame a neighbor. The first alarm was delayed. A nearby watchman saw the fire, but sent the alarm to the wrong location. By the time firefighters arrived at DeKoven Street, the fire had already jumped the alley. It had already taken 3 houses. By 10 p.m., it had jumped the south branch of the Chicago River. People thought the river would stop it. It did not. By midnight, the entire business district was burning. The sky above Chicago turned the color of blood. The fire moved like a living wall, 100 feet high, moving faster than a man could run. The Crosby Opera House, one of the finest in America, gone. The Palmer House Hotel opened just 13 days before the fire, gone. The Chicago Tribune Building, gone. The Cook County Courthouse, gone. The post office, the banks, the churches, all of it gone. When the flames reached the Chicago Waterworks, the pumping station that supplied water to the entire city, it burned too. Now, firefighters had no water pressure, no water, no hope of stopping it. 100,000 people fled their homes. They ran toward Lake Michigan. They stood in the water, sometimes neck deep, watching their city burn behind them. Some carried nothing. Some carried everything they could grab. A piano dragged into the street, a wedding dress, a bird cage, a single boot. The fire burned through the night, all of Sunday, all of Monday. It was not until rain fell on Tuesday, October 10th, nearly 27 hours after it began, that the fire finally died. In its wake, 3.3 square miles of the city, ash. 17,450 buildings, destroyed. $200 million in damage, nearly $5 billion today. 300 people, dead. 100,000 people, homeless. The morning after, where a great city had stood, there was silence. Block after block, nothing but rubble. Chimneys stood alone like broken tombstones. marking where homes and businesses had been. The Chicago River ran black with ash and debris. The smell of smoke hung in the air for weeks. Photographs taken in those first days after the fire show something almost impossible to believe. A modern city erased. And yet, within these ruins, something remarkable was already beginning. Because the people of Chicago, they did not leave. Within 1 week of the fire, construction had already begun. Not months, not years. 1 week. Workers poured into the city from across the country. Architects, engineers, investors, laborers. By the thousands. By the end of 1872, just 1 year later, over 10,000 new buildings had been constructed. 10,000. But this time, they built differently. No more wood. New city ordinances passed within weeks of the fire banned wooden construction in the downtown core. The new Chicago would be built from stone, from iron, from brick, fireproof, permanent, ambitious. And the architects who came to rebuild, they saw not a ruined city, but a blank canvas. What emerged from those ashes would change cities forever. In 1885, the world's first skyscraper was completed in Chicago, the Home Insurance Building. 10 stories tall, an iron skeleton wrapped in stone. It looked like the future, because it was. The Chicago School of Architecture was born. William LeBaron Jenney, Louis Sullivan, Daniel Burnham. These were not just architects, they were the inventors of the modern city. Sullivan's famous phrase became the law of architecture. Form follows function. Every skyscraper you see today, in New York, Dubai, Shanghai, Tokyo, London, traces its origin to the ashes of 1871 Chicago. The fire did not just rebuild Chicago. It rebuilt how humanity builds. This is Lake Street, 1868. Wooden storefronts, 3 stories, horse carts, dirt roads. This is Lake Street, 1875. Same block, same street, completely transformed. Stone, iron, 5 stories, sidewalks, streetcars. This is the Chicago River waterfront, 1870. Wooden warehouses, wooden bridges. This is the same waterfront, 1880. Stone warehouses, iron bridges, steam-powered boats, and Michigan Avenue. Before the fire, an ordinary muddy road on the edge of the city. After the rebuild, the beginnings of what would one day become one of the most famous boulevards in the entire world. The Magnificent Mile. The fire did not destroy Chicago's future. It accelerated it. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871 was one of the greatest disasters in American history. 300 lives lost, 100,000 people homeless, a city erased in 27 hours. But Chicago did not ask for sympathy. It asked for bricks. Within 20 years of the fire, Chicago had become the second largest city in America. Population, 1.7 million. In 1893, just 22 years after standing in ash, Chicago hosted the World's Columbian Exposition. 250 million people came from around the globe to see what this city had built. The White City. And the world was stunned. The fire did not destroy Chicago. It created it. The next time you look up at a skyscraper, anywhere in the world, remember, it began with a fire. in a barn on DeKoven Street. On the night of October 8th, 1871, Chicago burned. And from those ashes, the modern world was built.